Zoom.
Doktor makin sihat?
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Tapi masih dalam proses pemulihan lah. Tapi Alhamdulillah lah. Apa ni makin sihat.
Alhamdulillah. Doktor, nanti during your session, do you prefer the question to be asked in the middle of the session, or or do you want it to have a specific slot in the end?
Tak, they can ask any time.
Okay, all right.
As we go along kan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Saya sekejap ya. Saya punya ni.
Okay.
Hmm.
So at 9, okay. Mm-hmm.
Boleh nampak eh?
Can.
Alright. Okay.
Doctor, I'll start first.
Alright.
I will start first, and then after that you can share your slides.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tadi ni saya dah stop sharing dah kan?
Not yet.
Not yet. Mana nak stop? Lupa dah saya. Okay. Alright.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright. Okay. So it's 9 o'clock on the dot. I think we can start.
Can.
Okay.
Boleh.
Okay. Auzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to everyone. Thank you for joining this training organized by the Center for Professional Development CPD, IIUM. I am Dr. Raini from the Learning Design Unit CPD, and I will be your moderator for this training. Before we start our session, let's recite Ummul Kitab Al-Fatihah. Alhamdulillah, this is the second training offered by our unit this year. And this time around, we are blessed with a renowned excellent speaker, Dr. Shahreza Muhammad Sharif from Universiti Malaysia Terengganu, UMT. And he will give us training on innovation in teaching and learning. The duration will be 3 hours via Zoom. And also we have shared with you the YouTube link. Before I go with the overview of today's training, followed by introducing more about our speaker, I'd like to call the Director of CPD, Prof. T.S. Dr. Mira Katiwi, for her welcoming remarks.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Raini. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Alhamdulillahillazi hadana li hadza wa ma kunna linahtadiya laula an hadanallah. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammad abduhu rasuluh. Alhamdulillah, thank you so much. First, I would like to thank Dr. Shahreza. Although you are still recovering, but you still make the time. With a big heart, you make the time to be with us. Unfortunately, we couldn't materialize the session last year, but finally, Alhamdulillah, we have the session today, and we look forward to learn from you. And may Allah bless you with speed recovery, inshallah. Amin ya Rabbal Alamin. And also thanks to Dr. Raini and Sister Hilda for again arranging the sessions in this Zoom. I know it's virtual, but I'm very sure nothing is less when it comes to sincere heart. That's why we look forward to have these sessions. And thank you so much for arranging these sessions and making this possible in this early of the year, inshallah. And I know all of us have just finished submitting our marks yesterday. For your information, Dr. Shahreza, we have just submitted our mark for the semester yesterday. And I know while many of us are still kind of like recovering from the long hours of marking and data entry, but to be with us. I would like to thank everyone who really make the time to be with us today, and thank you so much. Jazakumullah khair. The fact that you are here, that speaks a volume of your dedications to IUM as well as to the students in order to improve and innovate to better teach our students. So thank you so much. Jazakumullah khair. May Allah bless you, your family, and then all the knowledge that you have gained from this session. Again, thanks so much, Dr. Raini, Dr. Shahreza, and Sister Hilda for arranging the session. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to learn from everyone. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, before we start, let me just give the overview of today's training. And share the screen. Okay, so today's training is on innovation in teaching and learning. Innovation in teaching and learning refers to the use of new and creative approaches to teaching and learning. It can involve the use of new technologies, new teaching methods, or new ways of thinking about education. There are many reasons why innovation in teaching and learning is important, and they are as the following. It can help to improve the student learning. When the students are engaged in innovative learning experiences, they are more likely to be motivated and to retain what they learned. Innovation in teaching and learning can help to prepare students for the future. The world is changing rapidly, and students need to be equipped with the skills and knowledge they need to succeed in a changing world. Innovation in teaching and learning can help to make education more equitable. By using innovative methods, teachers can reach all students regardless of their background and/or abilities. For the training competency, this training will enhance instructors' competency in pedagogical aspects. This is aligned with the 4th IUM mission statement, which is to nurture the quality of holistic excellence, which is imbued with Islamic moral spiritual values in the process of learning, teaching, research, consultancy, publication, administration, and also student life. Training outcomes. Upon completion of the training, instructors will be able to increase student engagement and motivation, improve student achievement, and develop 21st century skills among students. Now let me introduce you to our speaker, Dr. Shahreza. Dr. Shahreza is a lecturer in the field of fish genetics at the Faculty of Fisheries and Food Sciences, Universiti Malaysia Terengganu, UMT. He started his career as a lecturer in 2006. He is currently the director for the Center for Talent Development and Innovation, UMT. In teaching and learning, his focus is on the application of simulation-based learning and alternative assessments in fisheries and aquaculture. Through his 18 years of teaching journey, he has developed and applied various teaching and learning strategies, as well as implemented several alternative assessments for his course. He has also developed several teaching kits, and one of them has won an award at the National Teaching and Learning Innovation Competition. Some of the teaching kits have been used to retrain farmers on fish breeding and genetic improvement of fish. He also has been invited as a selection panel and jury for Anugerah Khas Menteri Pendidikan Malaysia, AKRI, Teaching Innovation Competition and Teaching Excellence Award for UMT, as well as for several other universities. He has also been invited as a trainer for UMT and several universities on teaching innovation, alternative assessment, Google application in education and teaching portfolio. Currently, he has been involved in conducting basic teaching and learning course for new UMT academicians. All right, so before we start, don't forget 3 CTD points will be awarded for those who fill in the I attend, recorded in Zoom attendance for a minimum of a certain duration, and to fill in the evaluation form within 24 hours. And also, please get ready for the photos to be taken at the end of the training. So without further ado, let's welcome Dr. Shahreza.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Raini, for the warm introduction. And then thank you, Learning Design Unit IIUM, for inviting me to share some of the things about innovation. And Alhamdulillah, I'm able to make this And please forgive me, participant, for my appearance, because I'm just recovering from my neck injury, which I encountered 5 months ago. But Alhamdulillah, currently now doing well. So let's move to this. Let me share my slide first. Okay, so I was invited to share with you regarding innovation in teaching and learning, right? So today, within this 2 to 3 hours of this talk, I'm going to bring all of you into 3 major parts. That is, number 1 is to give you an overview of what creativity and innovation is all about. And then number 2, I'm sure many of you have already tried to be innovative and very creative enough to try many things. Okay, so how to innovate? Okay, because I'm also sure some of you, the same as some of academicians when I met from various universities, they are also having this skeptical. Can I innovate? Is my innovation or is my things that I created is innovative enough? And this makes them feel very small, I can say, or shy to say that they are doing innovative works. So hope that in my talk I can give a broad overview of what creativity and innovation is. And the third one, we'll go to the summary about this session. So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. May Allah ease this presentation and ease your understanding regarding this talk for today. So, before we go on the first part of this creativity and innovation, I would like to make a disclaimer. Yeah? So basically, I'm not an expert in innovation. What I say an expert is that I don't have a PhD in innovation, because to be expert, at least you must have a certain qualification. But what I have is, through my journey in teaching, I like to try various things. Anytime that I went for a workshop to learn, when I went back to UMT, I will try in my class and then see whether it is effective or not. If not, then how do I improve? And then along the way, I learn either through my friends or through seniors or through the speaker in the workshop, also through YouTube's websites, then increase my knowledge, implement again, looking back. So along the way, this experience that I collected and the knowledge that I've gained from reading journals, communicating with people, so increases my skills and also knowledge in doing innovation. And as well as last time I attended also several workshops regarding how to innovate. So these are the things that builds me the skills that I have, which enables me to share with you some of the things about innovation in teaching and learning. So I would like to highlight this. These are the common things where people will say innovation is equal to IP and patent, or in another word, innovation must have IP and patent. Is it true? Second, innovation is equal to commercialization. If you cannot commercialize, that is not an innovation. You must generate income, either for the universities or your organization or yourself. The other one is innovation equals to award and recognition. So is that the purpose of innovation? Okay. So all these things are among the questions that rise due to the, I can say, misunderstanding. Why the misunderstanding occurs? Because a lot of academicians, they are too tied up with competitions. And when they enter competitions, generally several competition will highlight it, what patents or how many patents that you produce. Have you commercialized? Have you got the certification to commercialize? Do you have a networking or collaboration with companies to commercialize your product? And what are other awards that you have regarding your innovation? So based on this criteria, it makes some people turn down on doing innovation because they think that innovation must meet this criteria. Well, don't misunderstood me. I'm not against this. If your innovation allows you to have patents and IP, then go for it. Of course, because you create new things, for sure you want to protect your ideas. Okay? If your innovation can go commercialize and generate income, by all means do it. That is your rizki that Allah gives to you. And if your innovation is being recognized based on award, then Alhamdulillah, Allah grants you that. But innovation is all about this. And this is what I'm trying to give an overview of what innovation is all about. But before that, and before we end the session, I would like your cooperation to share your thoughts. Okay, I just put it in the chat. Okay, what do you want to know about innovation? And do you have any confusions or any issues that you have regarding innovation in teaching and learning? Okay, your thoughts will assist me to cover some of the things that I may not cover in my talk before the session ends. So if I can get it earlier in the session, then along the way I can cover up some of the things that you would like to know, and also some of the confusions or issues that you want to address. Okay, that's the thing. And another one, if you have any questions while I'm sharing the slides, please feel free to stop me and ask. Okay, I would love to attend because the focus is to make sure you attain what you want to obtain by coming to this talk, inshallah. Okay, so please feel free to share in the chat, and then we'll look at it as we go along, sharing this slide. Okay, now if you look into innovation, just like just now Dr. Raini has shared, yeah, basic thing is it is a successful introduction of a new thing or method. But when we talk about new thing of method, what type of new thing or method that we are talking? Okay, now another one is a method to produce new or better product. Now in this second point, what I'm trying to highlight is that innovation does not mean that you need to have a tangible product. Innovation can be in terms of process. Okay, so if you develop a new process in your teaching and learning, then that is a very novel idea. It is very innovative. So in other words, it is a process by which a domain, a product or service, okay, so in a broader perspective, is renewed and brought up to date. Now, the third point is maybe you already have some method or product that you have, but along the way, you incorporated new approaches. You improve about certain process inside your current existing method or product. That is also an innovation. So innovation as a whole is introducing something new, but what in the sense of new is it can be a totally new product, or it can be a new process, and it can also be a new update, incorporating new things in your current process that you are doing. But when we talk about new things, we must remember that don't get confused with competition. Okay? When you innovate, it all resides to what are the new things that you introduce. Okay? In a competition, we are looking into novel ideas which has never been created. But in innovation itself, even though the things that you want to try has been done by other people, but it hasn't been done by you in your subject, and you try this, this is considered an innovation for you. So these are among the misconceptions that some of our academicians have when they say that I'm not innovative enough. Okay, some of the things that I wanted to try has been already applied by people. If you're talking about competition sense, then it's not an innovation. But innovation is not about competition. Innovation is about creating new things, okay, in which there are other components that we can say that is an innovation. But the first part of innovation is creating new things. That's the first point of innovation. But creating new things is still not enough to be considered as innovation. So there are other criteria. I'm not talking about competition, but other criteria that when you do, how can you say that this is an innovation that you have introduced to your class? Okay, in my talk, forget about competition because I'm talking as a whole, the spirit of innovation. Now, so in other words, it is about looking beyond what you are currently doing. A simple step for all the years you have been lecturing, giving a simple lecture, but now you are introducing new stuff. You are trying to introduce project-based learning, or you try to use technology-based quizzes, Socrative, okay? And you see that it gives impact to the student. So that is also an innovation, looking beyond what you are currently doing, okay? And you try to develop novel ideas. And I said, novel ideas mean it can be novel ideas to you, and you can see the impact to the student. That novel ideas may not be novel because it has been applied by somebody else, but to you, it is novel because you have never done it before and you have tried it and you see the improvement from in the students that you teach. So in other words, you create something different from what you have been doing. That is the starting point in doing innovation, creating something different from what you have been doing. That is the starting point. Okay. I hope until now you can see what innovation is all about. Now, if you look into UNICEF, they give a definition about innovation in education. So innovation in education is more than new technology. So they are focusing on solving problems in a fresh, simple way. Okay, and the focus is to promote equity and improve learning. So we are talking now about giving impact to the society. How can education be equitable to others? covering the Sustainable Development Goal, accessible to people. So what are the method, the sorry, the product that you want to produce? It can be a simple product, but it's very innovative, very new, and it gives high impact in the world of education. It can be a simple tool in which allows accessible to people in the remote areas. Okay, so you can see now innovation in education is about giving impact. That is the second thing about innovation, creation of new things, but solving problem. So if you are creating innovation, but you are not but the basis of your innovation is not because trying to solve problem, that is not an innovation. Now, why I highlighted this? In the advancement of our education system and also going for ranking, there are some institutions who puts innovation as KPI. Now, when people put KPI, innovation as KPI, now there are some who are tied up to the KPI and say that, okay, we need to create to achieve KPI. So that is not innovation is all about. Okay, you are not trying to innovate to solve problem of achieving your KPI. Okay, or I have been set to achieve awards, to achieve at least a bronze medal in an innovation, teaching and learning innovation in a competition this year. So I need to create something so that I can enter and win the medal. So that is not the purpose of innovation. Innovation is about creating things to solve problems. Now we will delve into what are the problems that we can look into. And when you solve it, it gives an impact. So these are the three major criteria of what innovation is all about. So in terms of impact, you can see that innovation in education is to raise the productivity and efficiency of learning. Just like what is highlighted by Dr. Raini just now, you want to increase student engagement, you want to increase student performance, or you want to increase the effectiveness of your classroom management, which finally can improve the learning quality. So the aim of the innovation is, of course, productivity, but it is not productivity solely on income generation, but the productivity that we are talking about is the productivity in the efficiency of learning, improve the learning quality. So that is the main focus. So we need to align back our purpose of innovation, even though we know that innovation can create IP, can create income generation, can be recognized and be awarded. But whatever we do, we must align the purpose of innovation is to increase the learning quality. Now, there is a confusion between creativity and innovation. Right? These are the two things. You must be creative. Okay, so what is the difference between the two? Now, creativity is the use of imagination, that means generation of ideas. In a basic simple term, generation of ideas. Okay, either you want to solve something or you want to create something. So once you have that, that is creativity. Innovation is when you try to implement your ideas to produce that thing in a tangible way. Okay, it can either be a process, it can be either be a product. So you have an idea, okay, several ideas. That is what creativity is all about. And when you want to execute that idea to produce that product, that is considered an innovation. So it is more related to imagination in creativity, while innovation is more related to the implementation of the idea. So in creativity, you are thinking of new ideas, a new solution, and also new alternative. So these ideas, because it's just an idea, it can be unpredictable. It can be original because you are the only one who think about it. No one else think about it. And it can be unique. Okay. And when you implement those ideas to make them a tangible product, then this can be a new technology, new method, or improvement in the existing product. Now, let me check for a while. Okay. So the main keyword here is creativity is about generating ideas. Innovation is execution, or you act upon those ideas. So, in other words, Theodore Levitt states that creativity is thinking up new things. Innovation is implementing that new thing. Now, in educational innovation, it is not only the product, for example, teaching kids or apps or software is the major thing that can be considered as innovation. It can be a new learning process. There's no product. Okay, there's no product, tangible product. There's no kits. There's no apps that you develop, but you develop a learning process. It can be develop a new teaching method. Okay, you have your own way of teaching. Okay, learning process. I remembered in some competition in Akri last time. They developed a learning process called TDIRI, TDIRI, teach, do it, reflect, and improve. So even though we listen to it that is normal, we teach, and then the student do it, and then they need to reflect and improve. So what's new into it? If you just looked at the name, it's not new, but the instructional design in how the learning process of teaching, the doing part by the student, the reflection, the method of reflection that has been incorporated, and how the student think to improve. So the method allows the student to be innovative. Not only the method is innovative, but it allows innovation among students on how to improve their learning about that topic. So the instructional design that has been implemented in this learning process is an innovative way that increase student engagement, student performance, as well as student motivation. So this is an example of what new learning process. New teaching method. I still remember in one university where they incorporated what they call as differentiated learning. Okay, how it is being developed in one class. They have 4 different tools to cater for 4 different learners. That is visual, auditory, read, write, and kinesthetic. So the student go there. Those who want to watch videos will go to the station and learn from the videos. Those who prefer to read will have some articles. Those who like to experiment things will have the station there where they can experiment. The student goes there, being at different station, following how they want to learn, but they are learning the same topic. So this is an example of new teaching method. Differentiated learning is not new, but the instructional design of how differentiated learning is incorporated in that lecturer's process, that is very innovative. And the student learn by themselves, different way according to what they preferred, and they achieve the same intended learning outcome. So this is an example of new teaching method. Or you want to improve your existing product. The simple term now, we have AI right now. You have the current product. Suddenly you incorporated various AI tools in which it really enhanced the current work, the current process, or the current product that you have developed, and it further improved student attainment of the learning outcome. So these are all what we consider as output of educational innovation. Okay. So in terms of innovation, you can see it in two different angles. One, we can say incremental innovation. That means you have an existing product, but you improve on the existing product. Okay. Another one where you create a totally new product or process. That is what we call as radical innovation. So in other words, you can see here, innovation is not about generating new things that has never been created before. It can be an improvement of your current process. For example, as I mentioned just now, sorry, you may have something, but incorporation of AI, you added new things which improves your existing product. So I hope that by giving this classification, participant would be more aware that innovation does not mean that you must create new things. It can also be an improvement of your existing method. Okay, and again, I would like to remind, we are not talking about preparing innovation for competition. We are talking about the spirit and basic concept of what innovation is all about. Okay. Okay, maybe I stop here for a while. If you have any question that you want to add up or you want to ask, or you have any opinions that you want to share regarding innovation. So I've stopped here for a while. Please feel free to ask or put in the chat before I continue further with the slide.
There is a question in the chat, Doctor.
Okay. All right. By Dr. Hasmawati. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. If I produce ebook or flipbook to help my student in their learning process, can that be considered as innovation as well? The ebook having QR code, okay, that my students can scan and bring them to my YouTube channel to watch more example of problem solving. Yes. If this is new to you, you haven't done this before and you created this, okay, and this is the new approach they are implementing, that is innovation. That's why I said, forget at this moment talking about innovation for competition. When innovation for competition, we are talking about very novel ideas, okay, outside of others that others have been doing. But now, when we want to be an innovative academician, innovative educator, we started off by creating new things that we haven't done before. Okay, so in your case, when you produce ebook and flipbook for your subject, and which this is the first product that you have produced, this is an innovative thing that you have created. Okay, but another thing is, okay, as I go along, you can see how you can further confirm and improve to make sure that, yes, this is an innovation. All right, I hope I answered your question, Dr. Asmawati. Okay. That's not, then I continue next. Now we look into the process of innovation. When you first trying to innovate, you need to identify what are the issues that you are having and what are the issues that you're trying to solve. Basically, we get feedbacks, we do analysis, a survey, or you brainstorm among your colleagues, among your members in your PTJ. Okay, we're having these issues, the students are not motivated, or we are having trouble, the student cannot digest this. We have problem to achieve this learning outcome. So what are the root cause of this? So you can brainstorm, okay, to get the input to identify what is the issue behind the lack of student performance, for example. After that, you need to explore what are the possible approaches. Okay, has there been any previous approach that has been done to solve the problem, or any learning theory or strategy that we can use, okay, that can be possible to be applied in solving the issues? Then you start to generate your ideas. Okay, so how to go about? Let's say that, okay, we can do social learning theory, or you want to adopt simulation-based learning, okay, collaborative learning. These are the possible approaches. So now when you have that, generate the ideas of how can I do it in my class. So that process that you do is the part of creativity. When you have the idea, it's time to implement and produce the idea into a tangible form. So you need to act on the ideas. This is where innovation starts. You execute the ideas and you develop that idea. So this idea can produce products. So the product, again, as I said, can be in terms of teaching kits, apps, method, or process. Again, just now when I was talking, we were talking about until product and solving issues. Okay, the criteria number one, innovation is generating new things to solve problem. But how do you confirm that that is an innovation? You need to have impact. So when you create something, you need to see whether your ideas, your creation, whether it is a kit, app, software, tools, process, or teaching method, does it improve the student performance or the problems that you are addressing? So if your approach shows an impact and solve the problem, then you have completed what is called as being innovative and produce an innovative product. So the three criteria is how do I say that I have produced an innovation? So ask yourself back, is my product trying to solve issues or problem? Second, is the product that I produce a new thing? It may be new to you. It may not be new to others, but it may be new to you. And does it provide an impact in terms of solving problems or improve the quality of teaching and learning? So if it's based on an issue, created new things, and shows improvement, then it is called an innovation. So how do you determine the impact? This is where you need to see the effectiveness by conducting research. I know that in IIUM, you all have this action research grant. Okay, some of you can do based on the grant that you have, but there are also in teaching and learning where without grants, you can also do, because it is very, it's not that costly when you want to conduct survey and also trying to see the improvement based on the research, right? When you design the research method. So determining the impact is not just by looking at the results. So you need to do analysis to prove that, yes, it is effective. Just like when you see some products that they produce, like cars or running shoes, they say that this material that they have produced and developed into the shoes can increase 40% efficiency for the runners. So it is based on the research. So when you have this process along the way that you create something, that means you are being innovative and you are doing innovation. All right. So what I'm trying to highlight here is innovation is not ended up in a competition. Okay. But don't get me wrong saying that, oh, Dr. Shah said that don't enter competition. No, I'm trying to highlight the basic concept of what innovation is all about. You are creating new ideas. Again, I just trying to reiterate based on what are the issues that you're trying to solve. You try to generate the ideas. You try to create that new thing that you want to create. See whether it gives impact, and if it is proven to give impact, your product is an innovation. Okay, that's why I say don't get confused with competition. When you go enter into a competition, they are looking into new, novel product. That means looking as a whole, not just yourself, right? So that is the difference between innovation, doing innovation, and innovation in a competition. But we are trying to start off to be innovative first. Dr. Hamad says, can we say radical innovation is a creativity? It can also be creative, yes, but again, thank you very much, Dr. Hamad, for highlighting this. Yes, if you create something new, but it doesn't have any impact, then it's just you are being creative. See, innovation, it must be completed by showing impact. So if you create, I know in some lecturers, even myself, we implement new things just for the sake of trying to increase the student engagement, not to improve the performance, because we know that the current method can improve the performance, already improve the performance, but we are just trying to implement several new things to get the student engaged so that they can collaborate well, to increase other aspects like for their well-being, their communication skill, which maybe we don't mark for them. Okay, we don't address that outcome. The communication skill or certain skill is not inside our syllabus, but we are trying because we feel that they need to collaborate in order for them to understand our topic. So you are creating something, activities, okay, and that thing doesn't give any impact, okay, or you improve an existing method. So that can be considered as you are trying to be creative. But when you are improving your existing product, like radical innovation means, take for example, you already have a certain kits, okay? Now you are incorporating AI tools inside there, and you are trying to address certain issues, okay, to improve further the learning quality of the student. And the analysis shows that you further improve them. So that is considered as a radical innovation. I hope I answered your question. Okay?
Assalamualaikum, Doctor.
Waalaikumsalam. Yes.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt because later on I have class.
Okay.
But I would like to ask a few questions.
All right, sure.
Firstly, so if let's say we do some innovation, but the content part of it, we take other people because it's innovate, isn't it? So of
Okay.
course, the base is the ownership of the content, let's say, coming from other people. So how to have pattern of it, firstly, and then second question is about how to implement, how to get our innovation to be implemented within our university. And then thirdly, on how to commercialize the innovation to the let's say within Malaysia or to be international, on how to do it because I'm still new in this field. Thank you, Doctor.
Okay. Welcome. May I know you are?
I'm Habibah Usuk from
Okay.
CFS.
All right, Dr. Habibah, like this. If, for example, you are using other people's product and it has already been patented, so you cannot claim. You can just introduce them and you are just using other people's thing that has been patented. So you cannot call them as innovation. I will show you, maybe later you can watch the videos. I'll show you the starting point. What are the things that you can start off to be innovative using existing product, but based on that, you cannot patent what others has patent from. Okay, that is the thing. Now, second is about commercialization. If you want to commercialize, there are certain companies. Okay, I know last time when I entered a competition in UUM, there are companies who came and they are focusing on commercializing teaching and learning products. But I can't remember that company. So if you want to commercialize, what I can say is there are some companies who caters on commercializing teaching and learning innovation products. So you can contact them. Okay, that is one thing. And you can also contact some of the companies who are willing to produce them. So there is no problem of commercializing them, but generally when you want to commercialize, you need to get in some procedures, you need to get certification, persijilan, I can't remember last time, within that company. Okay, that is one thing. Some of my colleagues, they have a MOU with one company to commercialize their product. Okay, that is number two. Number three, I have my friend, my colleague, Dr. Faisal, who developed this boat simulator. He developed like a game to teach students, okay, on handling boats in a shipyard. So what UMT did was open up a startup company for him. So the university can produce a startup company for you, okay, to commercialize your product. That is one. Second, there is a company that focus on commercializing teaching and learning products. And third, you can team up, okay, having an MOU with certain companies to commercialize the product. Now, I shared with you one of my friends who in maritime, okay, they produce a product and they collaborate with one agency. Can't remember the agency, a maritime agency, to commercialize their product. So these are among the approach that you can do if you want to commercialize your product. Okay. Numbers, no, that is the third question. The second question, when you say innovation, how it is implemented, can you repeat again, please?
How to let's say we've come up with one innovation. For example, talking about pattern just now, right? For example, we have a pilot textbook, and then part of the content from the textbook, it is not patented yet. It has no ISBN number, whatever. So part of the content of the pilot textbook taken out, I take it out, and then I make it as a, for example, flashcard. Okay, so the flashcard considered as the innovation. And then is it possible for me to patent it? And then how to deal with the ownership? I mean, of course, the content we take out from others' pilot studies, right? So how is it in proper way to do it? And then whenever I have the product, on how I'm going to make my colleagues going to use it in class, because this is in learning
in
process,
class.
right?
Okay. Now, if you want to implement in class, when you design your product, you must already consider that in the first place. Okay. So there are some, I share to you my experience, because when becoming a jury and also looking at my colleagues who are doing innovation, some they develop this thing solely only for their class. That means it cannot be implemented for others. But some, they are already planned to be used for other class and other field. So what I can say that if we want to implement on other venue, so when you design that product, think forward of how this can be implemented in several field and how that thing will be implemented in that field. So this is one of the way that you can do. Now, related to that pattern, I'm answering based on your thing. Just now you are mentioning the book, and part of that book has not been patented, right? Now you can see this. This one you need to clarify with the IP people or your research management university office. Like in our case, we have commercialization office, okay, for innovation product. So you can consult them to see the boundaries, whether this can be created as a new patent or it must get approval from the previous patent. Because what I can see that it has been transformed into another product. That means you are not duplicating that product. What I can see that from that book, you transform into a card. Now, when you transform into a card, be aware if you are using the same picture which has been created by the previous owner, then you need to get consent whether they allow you to use the current picture. But if they are using the picture, you are taking the material, but you are developing using different pictures, because now what you are doing is you are producing a flashcard. You're not producing a book. So when you produce a flashcard and you are using the same content, but in a different form, what I can explain to you based on my experience. Previously, I created this teaching kit, a flashcard. Okay, Dr. Habibah, I created a flashcard. As a start, when I start to implement them, I use the picture of the fish from the internet, because at that time I was just wanted to create it so that I can expose my student to the various types of fish species. So as a start, I developed them using the existing pictures I took from Google. But now, as the product improved, I take my own picture and use it. So the species is the same, but the picture of the fish is not the same. Now, the thing is, the card that I developed was not duplicated from an existing product. So there is no such product that has been created before. So the card is novelty. That means I created that card. The only thing is the species. For example, you cannot produce new species, right? But I'm not using the pictures from the internet anymore. I'm using my pictures. So this is the thing that you need to clarify with your commercialization office. If you have, like in UMT, we have the commercialization office, whether this does not melanggar the patent that has been produced by the previous owner or not. That is what I can say to you. Because what I can see, you are producing different things. You are not duplicating. The only thing is you are making them based on the content from the book. But you're not producing the same book, but in a different style, different form. So I would suggest you consult with your commercialization officer in the from the office. Okay, Dr. Habibah?
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Okay,
Yeah.
welcome. Okay, any more question? Let me check. Okay. Dr. Cik Razi says, we cannot call creativity if does not end up with an output either by producing product or solving issues. Okay. Just now what I'm showing is creativity is generation of ideas. All right. Now, sometimes you see people say, oh, you're so creative. Okay. Meaning that he did a lot of things. Okay. Having ideas and doing many things based on an idea, that can be creative. Okay. But that delineates from innovation, because innovation is you are producing new things and it creates impact. Some you can say creative because they are doing what other people are doing, the same thing, but they are applying in their class, or they are doing a little bit different, but there are no impact. Okay, what I mean by impact is that you can see the student engage, you can see the student involve, improve, but since what I can say is the improvement is not that much, okay, and the idea that is being implemented is just an adaptation of some ideas by other people. Okay, so this ended up as being creative. Okay. I hope I answered your question, Dr. Razi. Because some people, they are just doing it. Okay, I can say some doing it for fun. Okay, but if you are trying to solve an issues, you must prove that the issue can be solved and it creates impact. All right. Now let us go here. To some of you who may feel that, why do I need to innovate? Can I teach the way that I teach before? Can I just use what I'm currently doing for the past years? Now, you can see that through the years, the diversity of students are different. Okay, student, the character, the background of the student, the skills of the student 10 years ago, 5 years ago will be different from now and will be different in 10 years to come. Okay, if you're not going to retire soon, for example, some of you might be retiring in 2 or 3 years, then no problem. But if you're going to be an educator for the next 10 or 15 years, will you be teaching the same thing for the 10 years to come student? Okay, because what you are doing right now may not be effective for the future student. So we need to cater these diverse learners, right? This is one of the things, to adapt to the different types of learners. Now, the second one, if you look in World Economic Forum, you can see in the coming years, the skill set needed will be different. So are we preparing our student to the current or future skill set? Okay, some of the skill set may not be applicable in the future, right? So how do you cater your teaching and learning to fulfill and meet the need either from the industry or from the society? It may not be, this skill may not be just for the industry. Okay, in the future, the society, the scale of the society, the awareness of the society also will be different. So how do you prepare the student so that they are able to be relevant to the industry, to the society, and to the nation? And we can see, starting from December 2022, where AI starts to crop in and the advancement is so rapid within the 3 to 4 months of its existence. And now it is too, you can say, the expand is too huge, yeah, using the AI. Previously, we are talking about IR 4.0. So in the future, people may not using ChatGPT. You might be looking the students like, if you watch the movie Iron Man, Tony Stark always used the hand to open up the files of the computer. So people are wearing glasses and looking like mad people, orang gila, doing this hand left and right, but actually they are opening the files of their computers. So how do you cater technology advancement in the future, 10, 20 years to come? Okay, or in the future, people are using holograms to interact. Okay, things like that. And will our teaching relevant to the future needs? Now, if you look into our education system, last time it was OBE, and then MQF 1.0. Previously, 2020, we changed into MQF 2.0, and then KPT brought up this Excel, where you have real, poise, care, and ideal, all right? Research-based learning, competency-based learning, all right? Industry-based learning, social-based learning, all right? Community-based learning. So we need to keep abreast with the current education approaches. Our national education blueprint will be finishing around the corner in 2025. I'm pretty sure that KPT now is planning for the new national educational blueprint. So once they come up with that one, we also need to see what is the things that is required. So we need to act. How do we act upon the new national academic blueprint? And if you see in MQA, last time during the COVID, all right, it state that in online learning, we need to be creative and innovative enough to apply various approaches to increase the effectiveness of our teaching and learning. And don't forget, whatever that we do is tailored back to the national philosophy of education. If you can look here, is an ongoing effort. Okay, education is in Malaysia is an ongoing effort towards further developing the potential of individuals. So what I would like to highlight here is the ongoing effort to develop our students. So how can we play our part to develop our students for the future? So these are among the things of why we need to innovate, we need to adopt new things, create new things in our teaching and learning. Okay, so how to innovate? This is the question. I hope that in the first part, my colleagues, participants can see the concept of innovation, okay? The process of innovation, the criteria of how you can say that, okay, what I created is an innovation. So in the second part, we're going to see how to innovate. So maybe for this, let us take a break here So Dr. Raini, can we take a break about 10 minutes?
Sure, Doctor.
And then maybe we come back about 10:20. I mean, my time is 10:07. Maybe about 10:20, we go to the second part.
Sure, Doctor.
All right.
Inshallah.
And in the meantime, please, anybody, if you have any question or anything that you'd like to share your opinion, please put in your chat and we'll have a further discussion later. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. Let's take a break,
Okay.
everyone. Assalamualaikum. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, Dr. Shahreza.
Yes. Okay. I would like to go back to respond again to Dr. Razi just now. The incremental innovation. How does it differ from normal creativity? Because it's just an improvement of an existing process. Okay, this is give you one. I hope that this example can be seen clearly. If you have an existing product, the only thing that you improve is the makeup of the product. Previously, you notice that the pictures in the card is not that refined, so you print in the different printer and make it more beautiful and having some design. So you're not introducing new things, you're just improving the appearance to make it more appealing. So that is not what we call as a radical incremental innovation, because you're just trying to improve the appearance, okay, so that it looks more appealing. Incremental is when you are implementing new process, like I mentioned just now. You have an existing product, but now you are incorporating new elements. For example, the use of AI tools inside there. And these AI tools, when you assess, you notice it gives an improvement. It further enhance and improve the performance of the student further compared to the previous one. So the keyword here is that why it is stated as an innovation, because incorporating new process or improvement using new approach apart from the current one. So it is different from just merely, just like I said just now, making the card much better looking, okay, changes in the design. So that is not incremental innovation. That can be just trying to be creative. Okay, Dr. Atia, thank you for joining this. Can you share some key indicator or benchmark you use to evaluate whether has the potential impact student learning, and how did you measure or assess the impact? Okay, when you want to see the impact, you need to do the basic method of research. So you can do a survey, you can do a reflection, student reflection. Okay, when we talk about student reflection, there is a guide. Okay, for example, this one, which I learned from Dr. Siti Aisyah. When you want to do a reflection, how do you see, and how do you ask the student to reflect based on their experience? Okay, based on experiential learning, you can ask them to share what they have gained. That is number one. How can they relate what they have gained to their experience? And number three, what is their action that they plan to do in the future with what they have gained? Okay, that is related either in the future means to their job, to the future related tasks that they will be doing. So by having this, you can monitor whether the improvement is significant or not. Based on the reflection that they give, the social science, they have the analysis where they can break down the student reflection into several key components. So that is one thing that you can use. Second is the student performance. You can do a pre and post test. Second, that is what I normally do, the benchmark that I use. Another one is the results of the student. Now, when we talk about the result of the student, this is, I'm just sharing my experience, I don't say that is the best practice, but based on my experience, what I do that, there is some people say that there are issues because different students, different batch may have different background, different performance. So there might be bias by comparing previous semester student with the current semester. So what we can do is we try to standardize the the task that we want to conduct to the student so that we minimize all the risk of the differentiation. If, for example, the test that we want to do may be different, so maybe we need to conduct additional extra tests, but that test may not be incorporated in the marks, okay? But that test, because we need to do it to see whether it gives impact, because we want to compare with the previous one. And you can also take samples. You might not need to do it for the whole class, and maybe you can do it by taking a sample so that you can see whether there is an increment to the previous semester. Now, I'm suggesting this because to minimize the risk of sometimes we tend to give different question or different difficulties in which the result might be biased. Okay, so student performance is the indicator, student reflection, and the pre and post test. Now, the pre and post test must be carefully conducted. Okay, I give you one experience when I see this one colleague of mine. He created a kit, okay, a chemistry kit. So once he created, he conduct in a tutorial about this the chemical structure, the chemical component. So prior to the activity, he asked the student to list down, and then he conduct the activity. Right after that, he asked the student to write. Well, to me, of course, when you just finish doing that thing and you already remember, so when you ask the student to do a post comment, post assumption, right? Before that, your knowledge is like this. After that, your knowledge, of course, you will remember. Okay. What my colleague did was he gave the question and the student can answer because the student just finished using the kit. So now my colleague showed, I have shown improvement because when they use my kit, they can answer this question. I told him that, of course, because they just learn using this kit, and this kit is so visual and they can see it clearly, so they can still remember it. Okay, so there is a bias because just right after, so you need to plan out how do you design your post, the question, the post, how you design the post test so that it really assess whether the student really gained that thing from the kit. I told my colleague that if you explain to the student about this chemical composition, and after that, you ask the student, I'm sure that they also can answer the question because you just give them information, okay? And maybe you give them about 5 information, suddenly you ask them to answer. I'm confident I can say that they can answer all those 5 chemicals because they just learned. So now, by having this time of questioning, do you sure that it's because of the kit or is because of the new knowledge that you just given to them? So these are the things that you need to consider when you want to evaluate. I hope I answered your question, Dr. Atia. Okay.
Okay, terima kasih.
Selamat. Okay, let us go step by step in this one. I just want to highlight when you want to identify the issues, So try to look what are the issues that you are trying to solve. Maybe is it because of the student performance? Is it because of classroom management? Previously, you have 80 students. Now you have 200 students. Okay. What is the best approach that you need to do to cater for 200 students, for example? Is it the issues on student engagement, or is it because of you need to adapt to the new regulation or policies? And as well as other issues, for example, is it due to facilities or risk? Risk in terms of that maybe the current method couldn't enable them to achieve a certain skill, which will give the risk to the faculty, to the kuliah, of the student couldn't be able to get jobs. It will affect the graduate employability, for example. So the risk in terms of the money that you need to spend using the current method. Okay. In terms of time, okay, currently now, whether can we shorten the time and still make it more effective? And also, is it the issues in the content? Because students having difficulty to understand the current content that we give. We need to provide them with the topic, but is it because of the content that makes them unable to perform? So these are among the issues that you need to identify. So we can get this from the feedback, from the analysis that you do, from the survey, interview with the students, or you can just brainstorm among your members if you are doing team teaching, for example. Now, the second one, once you have identified the issues, you try to gather what are the previous approaches that has been done. And there are some journals who have already mentioned the use of a certain approach that shows impact and effectiveness. So list down the approaches and the learning theory and strategy. Now, the reason behind this is that we don't want to be trapped into trying to be creative, trying to be innovative for no reason. Okay, I want to develop this, but you don't understand what is the foundation or the underlying concept of implementing that thing. So don't be trapped into that. Just like building a house, you must have a foundation. You don't just build a house like that. So anything that we do, we go back to the scholarship of teaching and learning based on previous research, based on previous approaches that has been done. From there, list down what is the approaches that I can do or I can create. Now, when you go into implementing the innovation, so once you have the idea, of course, you want to create the product. Now, this product can be, is it in terms of delivery? Okay, because based on your creativity, based on the ideas that you have, is it the output is on the assessment method? Okay, is it on the classroom management, the work process, the system? Okay, so these are the things that you need to consider. Now, this is the thing that when you want to produce, you need to start to think that, would I apply this only to my class, or I want this to be applied, can also be applied to other classes or other courses? How can this be implemented to give more impact, to give more benefit to my kuliah or to my university? Can this be done? So while developing the output, you can start to think along the way of whether you want this to be used for other purposes. Then you start to develop the product, the kit, the apps, the method, the technique, and the process. Now, while developing this, the kit, okay, don't be too ambitious. Start small. don't be too ambitious on trying to develop very new things. You can, based, just like I shared my experience, when I started to develop this one kit, I'm using current pictures from Google first, because my approach, my intention was that I'm not going to patent this for in the first place at that particular moment. I'm just trying to see, I have this idea. Now, with this idea, if I produce this product, can I assist the student to improve on their learning? So the focus is trying to create the product first and test. If I can see that the student can improve the learning quality, then only we can start to improve that further to go for focusing on getting IPs. Now, while creating the product, must remember that think of what are the underlying principles, the pedagogy, the learning theory that resides behind the product that you are trying to develop. Because we are producing innovation for teaching and learning. When we talk about teaching and learning, there will always be the pedagogical theory that resides behind what we are doing. Okay. Then you determine the impact. Okay. Is it you want to see the impacts in terms of the student performance? It can be the hard skill, okay, the knowledge, or the soft skill, depending on the issues that you are trying to address or the intended learning outcome that you are trying to focus. And if you're focusing on classroom management, then it can be on the cost and the time. Now, to see the effectiveness, this is where the research comes in. So data collection is important. As I told you just now when I was answering to Dr. Atia, student reflection, okay, survey assessment result. And again, I'd like to highlight student reflection, the way the student conduct or write up the reflection is very important. Okay, I said it because I can see the difference within the past 10 years of getting students to reflect. Last time in 2012 and 2012 to 2015, at that time when I asked the student to reflect on their learning, they can write up until 1 page. Now, if I ask the student to do a reflection, only 3 to 4 sentences. Okay, so I need to train them on how to do reflection again. So it's very different. That's why I said student 10 years ago is different from the current one. So another things to consider is, again, as a whole, the rationale and relevancy. Is it because of the standard, the future job skills, the learning domain, or learning level that you want to focus, and the design of the teaching and learning? This is where your novelty comes in. The design. You may adopt current existing method, but when you're trying to implement to your teaching and learning, how do you design your method, the process? This can be different from what has been applied. This is, I can say, the start of incorporating new approaches, because only you are the one who know it, and you are the one who is going to implement to the student. The third one is the learning process. When you want to implement innovation, think also about the learning process the student will experience. For example, I give you learning by doing, collaborative learning, peer learning, social learning. So these are among the things. What happens when you implement your innovation? How the student learn? So you need to also see. Sometimes you can anticipate, but along the way, when you conduct your innovative technique, you also need to observe what are other learning process that happens when that thing is being done. And again, I highlighted the impact, the student performance. Okay, what improvement that can be seen from the method or the process, and the evidence. You need to gather the evidence, so it can be your assessment results, your survey analysis, your student feedback and reflection, pictures. Okay, now when you collect this, because we may not know if it is highly impactful, then you may want to think of getting it to be recognized, okay, getting recognition and award. So you start to think about, okay, I think I want to enter a competition so that people, the society, recognize and acknowledge my innovation. So when you're thinking about entering competition, then evidence like pictures, videos will come handy, right? So when you see here, again, like what I'm trying to highlight is, in teaching and learning innovation, even though it can be commercialized, when you produce new thing, it can be patented, but that is the tip of the iceberg. The bottom part is all these things. Your design, instructional design, okay, what it is based on, the pedagogical approach, the learning process that happens because you are improving the learning quality. You're not focusing on getting money. That is the main purpose. But again, as I said, don't misunderstood me. If the product can be commercialized, by all means, go ahead. But the main purpose is to see the learning process. The purpose of innovative teaching is to enhance and improve to raise productivity in the learning quality, and what the impact can be given to the student. So implementation of this innovation can be in the classroom management, delivery, assessment, as well as the curriculum. Now, is there a proper way to innovate? Yes, there are. Generally, we adopt two ways: design thinking and creative thinking. But I'm not going to go further into this, because if you want to go further, there will be, you will need another session, but it's not by me. Those who are involved in KIK, Kumpulan Inovasi, competition, they will be looking into this. So design thinking, there is a process of how to innovate. But the concept is still the same. You are trying to highlight the issues, okay, in the empathize section, and then you define whether that is the issue that you are trying to solve, try to generate the idea, okay. It's still the same as the concept that I'm showing. Then you start to develop the prototype and you start to test. Creative thinking process is a little bit different, okay, but the basis is still the same. You still need to think of the issues and generate the ideas. But the only thing is, once you have the ideas, hold on first. You need to incubate them. Now, creative thinking process works in a way that don't act too fast on the ideas. You have the idea, leave it behind first, because they say that it will be in your brain, the unconscious mind, for several times, conscious mind. Then after some time, when you look back, you will see a different perspective. So this is the purpose of the process incubation is all about. Then it comes to the illumination, where the aha moment. You have the idea, you just leave it behind, mark your papers, do this, go somewhere else. Then you come back and see. Then you start to think that, okay, now I know this is the way that I'm going to go. Then you start to prepare the prototype, develop them, and you verify the final product. Okay, So this is just a basic explanation trying to give to you, because I've been in this design thinking workshop. Design thinking itself, a short workshop takes about 3 hours. So I'm just explaining to you in a few minutes, so it's not impactful actually. But I'm just to show to you, is there a proper way? Yes, there are two ways to uh, to to uh, to do innovation. Okay, now we go to the last part. But before that, is there any question that would like to ask? If you have any question or any opinion, feel free to share with me. You can just ask or you can put in the chat. If not, then let me continue this. Now we are talking about how to be innovative. This one, I'm going to share with you some of the examples. The first thing, if you want to be innovative, you need to keep learning new things and try them. Two things, keep learning new things, but don't just learn, try them. I show to you this picture, how if you learn new things. In this picture, you see, it's just a difference between the word water and H2O. Okay, it's the same thing, but when you only know one method and you only recognize water, whereas this water is about 9 kilometers away, whereas this one is still H2O, but it's just 50 meters away. So keep abreast with new things. Okay, the more you learn, the better you are to make a decision. Because I give an analogy. If you are in Kuantan and going to Kuala Lumpur, how many roads that you can choose apart from going through the highway? I'm sure that there are many, 2 to 3 options that you can choose, right? But if you only know only one way to go to Kuala Lumpur, and what happens if that road has a problem and you cannot go, so you cannot think of other approaches or alternative. But if you know there are 3 to 4 ways to go to Kuala Lumpur, if anything happens, you have options to choose. So that is why the importance of keep learning new things and try them. When you try, don't be afraid to make mistakes. I've done several times in which I got excited after coming back from a workshop, straight away try to the student. Sometimes it doesn't work, but it's okay, right? Because the first time you try, you need to keep on improving. Based on the mistakes, then you can see what are the options that you can do. I just want to share with you one experience which I try in my class and it doesn't work. But the reason is that the students are so tired, not because of me, because my class is about 9 o'clock. The student need to submit an assignment by 8 o'clock in the morning and they slept at 4 o'clock in the morning. So they are so tired. Because of that, I have designed a very nicely, to me, it's a nice approach, which I feel that it can engage the student, but suddenly it doesn't work. But it's not because of the method, because of other factors. So don't get frustrated when you want to try, understand the situation. And if, for example, the method doesn't work for the first time, reflect and improve. Now, another one is think big. Start small and act now. You think big. You say that, okay, I'm going to produce this. This thing can be commercialized. This thing can be used like this. Okay, I'm going to incorporate this and all that. Of course, think big, but you need to start small. Now, how to do this? It's like easier said than done. I show you experience of my 2 kids that I developed. Of what I can say, think big, start small. This is one kit that I developed using just a simple manila card in the first place. Start small, okay? this is the idea that I'm trying to develop a kit, but if you're thinking of straight away develop a kit, it will take a long time. So I started first with this. Now it has improved into this, a proper one. And finally, because of COVID, it has been transformed into a digital platform. Okay. My idea was to end up in the digital platform, but I need to test first physically. So it took me about 7 years to transform this into here. I'm doing just using Google Slide, but making it interactive so that I can conduct the lab interactively with the student. So develop using existing platform, but the novelty is you design your own teaching and learning tools. So you can see the difference from here and how it progressed until here. This is what I say, but think big, start small, and act now. The same as this one. But now, this thing has also been applied to farmers, goes back to the society. Okay, so things that started off with a manila card ended up having the kit used for training the farmers. This one, it started off when I see this ice cream stick at the stationery shop. It's a very mini, small, it's not the long ice cream stick, a very mini ice cream stick. Now, why I see this and I started to have an idea. I teach, I'm a fish geneticist. I teach students about genetics and how when you breed the fish can produce new colors. But the problem with genetic is that people cannot see the interaction of the genes that produce the colors. Is different from you're making a syrup. If you're making a coffee or syrup, you can take a coffee, put inside the hot water, and you can see the color change into a coffee, right? But when you say that if you cross a red-colored fish with a blue-colored fish, suddenly it produces a purple-colored fish. How do you explain what is happening inside the fish? So that is the reason why in my subject I need to be creative and try to produce ideas on improving my teaching technique, because the student cannot visualize. So based on this ice cream stick, I started to think about chromosome. You know, we humans, fish, we all have chromosome. So I started off with having this, prepare a chromosome, a very simple one, okay, bind the stickers to make it as a gene, but then after that, transform them into a proper kit. At first, the student just play with this ice cream stick, but now they are not playing anymore with this ice cream stick. I printed out properly, make it looks like a chromosome, and it has been turned into a kit and has been used to train farmers on how to conduct breeding. Okay, so again, this is to answer some who asked me the question. How do you implement so that it can be used for other purposes? So in this one, the starting point was to use for the class, but at the same, for this kit, I designed backwards. I designed for the industry first, because they are the one who are doing the actual thing of producing new variation of colors in fish. From there, I get the feedback, improve and implement to the students. But now it has been transformed into a digital platform for the student to apply. So if you can see here, the chromosome does not look like an ice cream stick anymore. It has turned into a proper one that looks like a chromosome. Okay, so this is among the things. Don't expect that you're going to produce this straight away. Start small, but you have the aim and focus of what the end product would be. Another one is to use existing tools. Start first by using existing tool. In SAMR model, in digital and teaching and learning, the lowest step is substitution. That means using existing tools and use them in the classroom. Start to see whether this thing is very beneficial, whether it can improve your learning. Then, if you see that it can be applied, start to modify. Then you start to think of how to design based on the existing tool to create new things. Like, for example, what I've done in my approach. This is just using a Google platform, using Google Slide, but creating these new things based on my design. Okay, another one, for those of you who are in the science, there are several websites where you have virtual labs. You can use them if you haven't used them before and see whether it can be effective to your student. Once you try, then you can start to think of how to design your own. In one of the competition that I became a jury, there's one educator who designed her innovation using existing virtual lab. But the key point here is that the instructional design of what she developed is very novel. So she incorporated several approaches, but one of the approaches is using the current existing virtual lab that is already in the website. So these are among the few things that I can show to you example of being innovative. This one, for example, I've applied to my students. This is a game. I found this inside the Apple Store. So in one of the topic, I asked the student to play the game. This is a game where they need to culture the fish. The more they culture, they get the money, they can increase the facilities, they can hire people, hire scientists. So I made the competition for 3 weeks, and I said those who make the most profit and who expand the biggest facilities will win. So you can gamify using existing tool, but again, your instructional design of your teaching and learning. This is just a tool, but the most important thing, the development of your instructional design in which the student learn using the existing tools, but improve in the teaching and learning. So there are various tools that you can apply, teaching kids, computer simulation, augmented reality. Currently now it's very easy to develop Apple using iPad. You can develop augmented reality to teach your student. You can also use virtual reality. There are some companies who can develop VR. You give them the ideas, they can assist, but the only thing is you need money. The cost I've asked is about between 6 to 30,000, depending on the tools that you want. So you have the money, go for it. If you don't, maybe you can learn, right? I've created virtual reality but this is more for classroom management, not for my teaching and learning. I purchased the 360-degree camera, took a picture, but used them for promotional for the school children so that they experience how our lab looks like. So they use the VR box, okay, and they explore the different laboratory that we have in our faculty. So I created them not for teaching, but for the faculty to promote the courses to the students. And sometimes you can see the student walks around and you need to be careful to stop them. Otherwise they bang on the mirror and they sway to the other booth of that. Robots, I know one of my colleagues in UKM using robots in their pharmacy courses to train students. And also in UMT, we have simulators, a ship simulator in which the student learn on how to maneuver a ship. And the last part, some innovative teaching strategies that you can use. Okay, if you look into several websites, okay, I highlighted this based on several websites, based on several articles. These are among the current, can be considered as a current innovative teaching strategy that you can use. So it's not just about kids using tools. Teaching method can be innovative. A flipped classroom where the student explore and the activity is being done during class. They learn outside and they do the activity during class. Project-based learning, you give them a project in which they learn by finishing up the project. Inquiry-based learning, asking them question and they learn by trying to answer that question. Blended learning, okay. Another one is peer teaching, personalized learning. All these things may look, these are all old method, but again, as I said, how do you design the teaching and learning? These are all just tools, okay, method. I give an example. 3 years ago, in one competition, there's one university who used flipped classroom, but why is it so innovative is that it flipped with the industry. So generally, when you do flipped classroom, you flip with the article. The student needs to read articles, watch videos, or look at your notes, and you assign them an activity so that when they come inside the class, they will do the activity. But in this innovative way, the flipped classroom is that they go to the industry, they need to identify certain things. There are the tasks that you need to identify. When they come to the class, they need to present and they need to discuss. Okay, so they learn from the industry. So it's called flip industry, flip classroom with the industry. That is how to be innovative using the existing strategy. Personalized learning currently now, as you know that we have diverse learners. So how do you tailor? You create teaching method to cater for personalized learning. That can be a new thing that you can do. Currently with advancement of ODL, micro-credential, so how do you leverage or develop flexible learning, okay, so that the student can study anytime, anywhere, anyhow, and still get the benefit and the improvement that you desire. So these are among the list of innovative teaching strategies that you can find if you search in the website and certain articles. All right, before I end it up, is there any question or anything that you want to share? Okay, Dr. Atia. How important do you think external funding sources such as grants or partnership, let's say, in driving innovation education? They're seeking to secure such funding. All right. It is very important if you are trying to develop new tools that need money. That one is very important. I shared example of what my friend Dr. Rudia and her team did. So they work out with one company, a shipping company, and one agency. So they get some funding over there because the agency noticed that the kit that her team developed can be used to train the staff in their agency. So when they see the benefit that they can get from the kit, oh, it's very simple and it really cuts our costs. If we were to send staff to train, but having this kit, we can train the staff, and the staff really gets the appropriate knowledge that we want. So based on that, they did a collaboration, and some of the funds are being funded by the company. So it is important to secure if the kit that you develop has some benefit also to the outside, to the agency outside. Now, second one, if you are developing tools, like just now I said, you want to develop virtual reality, okay, or simulator, and you don't have the knowledge, like my friend, Dr. Faisal, he is a computer expert, so that is why he developed his own boat simulator game. But since he is an expert in computer, he can do it. But people like me and most of us who are not expert in computers, so who can we turn to? So you can have a collaboration with some companies, and they can work out to develop the simulator for us. That's one thing. Another thing, I give you example, in UMT for itself, the Faculty of Maritime has a collaboration with Korean company, and that Korean company provides some virtual reality apps for the student to use. Okay, so when I say this, it is not just funding. Sometimes you can collaborate in order for you to use their existing tool inside your teaching and learning. Okay, but if you're asking me how important, this is in my opinion itself, okay, maybe it cannot be considered as a whole. It depends on what innovation that you are trying to get. A lot of innovation doesn't require you to have external funding. Sometimes the kit, you can collaborate with your colleagues in a computer, you work together and you create that thing. So it's not crucial, but again, as I said, if you are targeting on producing things that need money, then it is important to get external funding. Okay, that is one thing. Second, it depends on the need, because some universities, they acquire that it is good to get external funding so that it benefits the university. So if that is the case, then maybe the option of getting external funding can be an approach that you can try. But again, as I said back again, I said back, in external funding is not that important, because you have other approach that you can do through collaboration with companies and colleagues to develop your innovation depending on the innovation itself. So that is what I can say to you. But if you need the funding, I've shown to you the way. There are several ways that you can get. You do a collaboration with the agency, but the most important thing, the agency must see what they can get the benefit from. For example, like my friend just now. So this is the thing that I can give you. But again, as I'm talking too much, just to wrap up, yeah, my advice, who would like to seek such funding, design the things and show how this thing can benefit the counterpart. So then only they can consider to give funding. One. Number two, try to develop that ideas, the product together with them. So sometimes you can contact them, okay, asking them, is there any issues? You can work together, have a collaboration. From there, you can get external funding. So two ways you can achieve. I hope I answered the question, Dr. Atia.
Okay, terima kasih.
Okay, sama. Okay, last from me, to wrap up this, just to give a summary. The aim of innovation is to improve the teaching and learning quality. You are able to improve, and if God's willing, you have given the rezeki that you are able to commercialize, you're able to get IP and patent, by all means, go for it. But always remember the aim of innovation is to improve quality in teaching and learning approach. And second, innovation need not always be high-tech. Okay? So you can develop appropriate or suitable approach. The most important thing, what are the issues that you are trying to solve, and whether your method that you have produced can solve that particular issues. And innovation needs quality improvement. So you cannot just produce and I say, okay, I have produced an innovative product, full stop. So you need to continue and improve. I give you an example, like my kits that I developed is already coming to version 5 already after years of developing, because we get the feedback from the students. Based on the feedback, we improve, and then tailored to the current need, transform to digital, now getting the feedbacks, and then we keep on improving, because the purpose is to improve the quality in the teaching and learning. And to be innovative, always increase your knowledge and skills in teaching and learning, and must ensure the attainment of the learning outcome. And finally, your nawai too. Please make sure that the purpose of you are trying to do is to improve teaching and learning, because I've encountered some who are tied up with their KPIs. Okay, since I've been given KPI, we need to innovate because we need to achieve our KPI that has been set by the institution. That's one thing. And I've also experienced looking where some of the educators, you know that there is a competition around the corner in 3 months. What are the things that we want to create so that we can enter the competition? So that is not the purpose of doing innovation. Okay. And this is another thing, but it's up to you. The third thing is, some of the people say that I'm entering the innovation. They are producing one product, but they're entering 10 competition. It is good if you have 10 products and entering 10 competition, but now you have one product entering 10 competition presenting the same product. So what is the purpose? Some of them, they say that, well, I would like to get comments from the panel. Well, to me, if you want to get comments, the best comment that you can get is from the student, because you are trying to improve the student. You are not trying to improve from the panel. That is one thing. Second, try to ask some people who are into the innovation, then they can assist you. Or the other thing is, connect with people who have the knowledge in teaching and learning, because when you do innovation, what we are focusing in the process of learning, the design of the teaching. Because maybe when you talk to some of the jury will focus on trying to meet your product to match the criteria of the competition. So we are trying to innovate to match the improvement of the student. So sometimes you may get a wrong version where, okay, if you want to improve your commercialization, try to do this, to do this. Of course, I said, if you can commercialize, go for it. But the purpose now is how to improve the student learning. So you might get a different advice. Okay, get that thing first. Once you get it improved, then you can start to think of trying to get it recognized or trying to produce the product. Okay, so your nawai too is very important, and hope that whatever that you do will be blessed by Allah, and it finally can assist the student. And the importance of taking smaller steps. Okay, you want to achieve higher things, start small, climb up slowly, improve until you attain the target, the intended target. If you're trying to achieve it faster, it will never get you there. So that is all for me. I hope what I'm sharing to you, you get some benefit out of it. And if you have anything that I haven't covered, please ask me any question. I'll be happy to answer. So thank you very much.
You're very much welcome, Doctor. Thank you so much for the inspiring knowledge sharing session, I would say, on how to innovate in teaching and learning. An excellent introduction about the concept. Really appreciate that. Any questions? Maybe one or two from the online participants? Okay, right. So it seems that we don't have any
Yeah.
questions.
So last from me, Dr. Raini, I
huh.
would like again to express my appreciation and thanks to all participants who joined this. Again, I hope that you get some benefits from this session, and thank you, LDU, IIUM, for inviting me, and hope that it assists in your program. Thank you very much.
You're very much welcome. We would like to thank you very much as well, because actually this session was meant for last year, but Dr. Shah was not feeling well. You can see. Okay, so we wish you speedy recovery, Doctor.
Okay.
All right, so before we end, maybe we can have our tasbih kafarat surat first. Right, now it's the photo session. Okay, can everyone turn on your camera? Here we have it. Okay, smile. Okay, so this is the first stage. Smile. Next one. Smile. Okay, I think that so these are only, I have only 2 screens. I think that will be all. If you have any question, I believe you can reach Dr. Shah regarding this very interesting topic today. And from CPD, if there is any shortcoming, we would like to apologize. And then if you have any suggestion for future training, you can share with us, inshallah. Thank you so much, everyone, and happy new semester. Thank
Okay,
you.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you very much.
Salam.
Thanks a lot, Doctor.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Shahreza, and
Yeah.
also CPD
Welcome.
and all who have participated. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.